Just a little
They're said to
solo
be full of
record
rare
today, ladies and
objects, so
gentlemen.
we might
Kind of
both come out of this ahead.
doing a review of Arc Raiders. So, Arc Raiders, from my perspective, is probably one of the funnest games I've ever played in my life. Like, hands down, it is really awesome. And what I love about it is the camaraderie that it brings with like your friends, similar to that of like playing with the boys in a tactical shooter. But on top of that, it brings, you gotta have a level of trust, you know, when you run into people just roaming around, you know. It's kind of a game dynamic that I've never experienced before. You know, actually like trusting other players in the game world where it's like, hey, you're not gonna freaking kill me, right? But it also makes it kind of fun. At the same time, it's like, all right, like, you know, I gotta trust you, and you know, I could pay for that. Yeah, here we go. Should have some good loot in here. Yes, sir. Let's find us some good loot. Oh. Getting peeked on. But I like that about it, right? And I also like the fact that the game itself is not friendly. Like the enemies can overwhelm you. The most basic of enemies can overwhelm you, take you down. You have that personnel like level of trust where you kind of gotta just hope that the people that you're in the lobby with, they've got your back. You know, and sometimes that doesn't work out. Sometimes it does. But it's special. And then I also like, you know, the fact that the game has all kinds of different ways that you can progress. So, like, you know, in terms of, you know, finding blueprints, developing your tables, developing your chicken, quests, you know, there's like so much stuff to do. Every time you enter the world, like, you kind of just spawn, see where you land, and then it's like, you know, am I going to actually do this today, or am I going to do something else because I'm closer to this? And I think it makes it fun. It's kind of like, you know, what actually am I going to do when I load up, depending on where I'm at. And it's like a surprise. Every time you go in there, it's a surprise. And it looks like somebody already looted the hell out of this room. Ooh, I need a cat bed for my chicken. You know, but it's stuff like that. Like, you pick up something random, and, you know, it's gonna be something that I need. Sometimes it's not. You know, sometimes, you know, somebody's gonna come in here and take all my stuff from when I'm having the best raid of my life. You know, and it's just very dynamic. It's heartbreaking at times, but it's every time you spawn up, it's something random and new and fun, and I think that's the best part about it. Is the game is truly fun to the core. And then the developers themselves, you know, with Ark seem to be constantly growing the community. They grow, you know, the types of enemies you encounter. Here we go. Let's go find some good shit. Okay, we got a renegade. Complex gun parts. Take the renegade, and we'll take the and the mod components. All right, but you know, it's the game is ever growing. It's very dynamic, people you play with keep it fun. And then, you know, the fact that the developers put in those new enemies each time around, you know, kind of keeps you always on a swivel. You know, you got to learn a new way of doing something, you know, quite often. You know, I love how, too, it maintains a system where you can get the skins, too, for your characters through the passes that they have. You know, so it's a pay-to-play to a degree, but it's not, like, forced pay-to-play, you know? And that's always important, too. You know, you definitely don't want to have that image where it's like, hey, you have to spend money to play our game. And I think that they do a good job at balancing it, because the people that are good at grinding will, you know, actually get the stuff. But overall, like, me and my friends, this game is a 10 out of 10. Like, it is a blast. And there's something new to do every day. We're constantly, like, hunting quests and, you know, just seeing how far we can push ourselves, what we can take down, and improving our skills every day. Like, one of the things my buddies taught me is, you know, you can fall from buildings and catch the legs like I did earlier, and you don't take any damage. Like, definitely a loophole for sure. But overall, my experience with Arc Raiders has been amazing. I love how beautiful the world is, how much thought the developers put into it. It actually feels like a wasteland. And if I had to summarize it, I would say this is exactly what The Last of Us could have been if they had a true multiplayer. If you ever experienced the multiplayer that they had in The Last of Us, it was very similar to this, but not exactly the same. And I think this took all those elements, all that experience, and just put it together in a well-oiled system that works, you know. And that's what you want to see. Oh. Yep. I just let that dude fuck on me. Come on. Alright. I see you coming. We're gonna hit this button and we're gonna get out of here. But those are my thoughts on Arc Raiders. This is just a quick, short video, you know. And I want to know what you guys think. Like, what are some of your favorite moments that you've had in Arc Raiders so far? I know, for me... Hey, what's up, brother?
Help. I'm out of ammo. I ran out of ammo. Please.
What do you need? What do you need?
Thank you. Oh, it's okay. I'm just back.
Oh, I got you, brother.
Trying to get back in the friendly lobby. Just getting grounded every 3 or 4 years.
But, you know, it's stuff like that. It's the dynamic of the game, you know, a bunch of, like, really nice people. And, you know, I've had some crazy rates, you know, where literally I had so much good shit in my inventory. And I'm running. I was on, shit, let me see. I believe I was on Blue Gate. And I'm running away from the gate. And this bombardier's just shelling me, you know, shelling me. And I have snitches that are like pinging my location to it. And I lost everything. and it was like the most exciting raid, and all that excitement turned to dread as I hit the ground and I'm crawling and crawling to get to the extraction point, and then come to find out that I'm not going to make it, and then somebody else is going to come across my body and take the 8 bastion cells that I had, and and that's what makes it so exciting. It's like, what am I going to get served today? But with that, ladies and gentlemen, that's Wolf Games here, just throwing in my 2 cents on how I feel about Arc Raiders, and throw down in the comment section below like how you feel about it too. I think it's an awesome game, and if you enjoyed this quick synopsis that how I feel about the game, kind of a more realistic approach, throw in there, throw in there that you like the video. I definitely would appreciate that. And then if you subscribe, grow the community, grow the pack. But with that, peace.